This is Tatiana Hollander with ScreenRant. I'm at South by Southwest here with the minds behind Slanted. Welcome, one and all. How are we?
Good.
Very good.
Excellent.
Yes.
I have been warned about your energy. So.
Oh my God.
Turn it down, guys.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful.
I feel it now. I feel it. But Shirley, to start with you, because you were in one of my favorite movies last year, Dee Dee.
Thank you.
And now you've got
shout out
to
to
Dee Dee.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, and now you've got the family dynamics are dialed up to 11 this time around. Can you talk about the on-screen making of this beautiful family bond and then how you destroy it?
Okay, that feels hurtful and personal. First of all, we are a loving family.
Very loving family.
I did the destroying. I think it started pretty instantly. I mean, and even like with Mckenna, Amy had us meet early on so that we could bond and develop a common physical language for Joan. And then when it came to building the family dynamic, I mean, our family is full of characters. For me, Fang reminds me a lot of my dad, who's filming right there. Just very much silly, goofy, and just so supportive. And Vivian is such a freaking character. She is so funny. To the point that when my dad got in the car with Vivian, he goes, "So you're Wu Junmei. She is big in China." And so, it was such an honor to get to work with her, but I think that we really all just melded over just kind of being silly. Amy's very silly, and I think she was a big part in that. So I think our silliness and willingness to get down and dirty.
Fang, you are the sweetest dad, as clearly like her actual father.
Thank you.
How hard did you have to practice, the doe-eyed face that you're making at your daughter all the time? Or did it come naturally?
Well, I'm a father of a 5-year-old daughter, and that's I practice that every day, and it's so easy, working with these two. And like she said, we bonded right away from the beginning, and it's just a family unit, and we were able to spend all that time just being with each other. And as we know, we wanted that to be the emotional core of this movie, and I think we achieved that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of the emotional core, Amy, I totally understand why you would want to make a movie like this, but how? Where did the transracial surgery come from?
Oh gosh. Well, so for a really long time as a teenager, I would wake up every morning and think, wouldn't life just be easier if I was white? So that always was a part of me. And then there was a shooting in Atlanta that kind of, back in 2021, that kind of, jolted those feelings back from the past. And that's kind of where it came from. And I love being bold. I love pushing buttons. That's my favorite thing to do. And yeah, I wanted to do a story like this.
And buttons you did push. Mckenna, when you are stepping into Shirley's skin, becoming one with Shirley,
Are you? Which she did many times. It felt very comfortable, very cozy in there.
Are you actively trying be more like her Joan, or are you her Joan's get out of here?
I think it's a bit of both, because I was watching it and I didn't even remember. There's a scene whenever I come up to the lunch table and I just kind of started talking in this weird kind of Valley Girl accent. I was like, what am I doing? I didn't really remember doing that. I think I was just trying really hard to conform and appear cool in front of Amelie, which I do every time I look at her face. But I think it was a bit of both, because I mean, whenever. Well, this is random, but music is a really big part of my process for me. And I mean, we both had little Joan playlists, but I had Joan's playlist for herself, but then Joan, a playlist for whenever she was expressing herself outward as Joe Hunt. And so I think that there was such a difference between, at least for me mentally, Joe Hunt and then Joan. If that makes sense. Sorry, I feel like I rambled, but yeah, for sure I tried to mirror her Joan, of course.
I love it. That does make perfect sense. One person who is not trying to impress Amelie is your character, Maitreyi. Yeah. I feel like I loved you in Never Have I Ever.
Thank you.
And I think that was a character that very much was not sure of herself.
No, not at all.
This time you know exactly who you are, and you know who everyone else is too.
Yeah.
Can you talk about getting to be the confident one?
No, I mean, you're totally right, because Davy was all over the place in her insecurities on so many levels, on a level of race, but also as a young woman, so many different levels. But it was really refreshing to play a character that is just so sure of herself, and I think adds an interesting perspective to the big tapestry that is this movie. Feeling like the Rock of just guys, what is happening here? Constantly just being what are you doing? Joan, chill out, like stop. So that was really cool. But it does give like a different experience, right? Like here's another girl who's grown up in the same community and she has an entirely different experience. Not to invalidate what Joan goes through and her very real feelings, but just to show audiences that, yeah, we know that not everyone feels this way to this extreme and this exact, this exact like lifestyle, right? Not everyone has the same experience when you are a person of color, but all experiences are valid. When Brinda says like, okay, so you think I'm ugly now too, that is just as valid as Joan feeling like my life is easier now. Like both can coexist in the same high school, the same community. And I think that's just a testament to the writing, like an amazing script that really shows like, hey, we're not saying this is the way it is, but we are saying let's have a conversation. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Coexisting within Olivia are both the like mean girl energy, Regina George situation happening, but then also this like, like, oh, sugar and spice, everything nice. Hello, everyone, please donate, save the trees. So what is the perfect recipe? What is that perfect mix for you? How do you?
For me?
Yeah, to achieve as when you are stepping into Olivia. Not in. I'm not saying anything about you personally. As an actor,
I was like, for
how
me,
do
there's
you?
no Regina George. I can't do that. No, for an actor, I mean, even the charitable aspects of Olivia are completely fake. Nothing about her is authentic in her desire to create change or be a good person. She is so trapped within these social hierarchies that have made her at the top of the pyramid of privilege that I think she very much takes advantage of that. And yeah, she is stripped of a lot of humanity in moments when she's like doing the Feel the Burn challenge, but like just showing off her body, right? So for me, it was really just about making sure that the humanity existed in the contradiction within her of like, I know I'm being a bad person, but I also know that I have to put on this persona and I have to step into this character in order to wield the power that I possess.
Now, for everyone, obviously, Joan goes to great lengths to fit in. Some crazy things that she does. What is something that each of you have done that was really wild to be accepted or to gain praise? Nothing illegal. You don't have to share that. But just,
Oh, well, goddamn, never mind. I'll look at my answer.
She's in trouble. I have a really fast one. Is that like when watching young Joan kind of take off her jacket and notice how the other kids are dressing really early on. It happens really immediately. She notices what she has to do to fit in. It jogged this memory. I watched it for the first time today. Like when I was a kid, I grew up in Washington State, and I remember I started wearing like those Aeropostale like little zip ups, and I took my hair and I pinned it back, the pompadour style, I think it's called, because I was really in like back then, and all the girls liked soccer. Like it was cool to be a bra girl, but I was just cute and artsy, so I got to play soccer and like I don't know. So the Aeropostale for sure.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many. Many of, that ended up in the movie. I threw away my lunch, when I was a kid. In Australia at the time, I don't know if you guys know like Billabong and Roxy, those brands. So like those surfy brands are really big. They're really expensive. And I remembered like making my parents like, go and get me like my Billabong bag and all of that, like surfy, boardies to be like the white Australian kids. This is really sad, but I purposely didn't want to speak Mandarin in public, and I would get angry at my parents when they would speak in Mandarin in public and tell them to like shush, and all of those things happened, when I was a teenager.
But thankfully, you still look beautiful the way you are, and not
Absolutely. Yeah.
and not beautiful.
Quit hitting on my director.
Yeah.
Get your paws off her.
Yeah, I belong to Shirley.
No, Mckenna, I must ask you. Scream 7 is coming upon us.
Oh, geez.
Everyone who is dead is back again. What can you tell us about this?
Absolutely nothing. Except, man, what a beautiful film we're here for today. I can't say a dang thing, but I'm excited.
Thank you for that. Amy, you were once connected to Crazy Rich Asians too? I know the TV show is coming out now. Are you involved in the TV show at all?
I am not. But the movie is still happening. Well, hopefully it happens in addition to the TV show.
This is my dream. All the crazy rotations. Well, thank you all so much. You are beautiful tropical fishes, and you should all love yourselves and each other.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.